Welcome to Wednesday. It's officially hump day. What's going on, everybody? It's Rob Garcia, the Warrior Strategist, coming at you from sunny San Diego. And today, we're going to be talking about business stealth and why it's so important for you to break out of it. The military uses stealth as a concept of getting around without being noticed. Air Force guy here, so of course I'm going to have Air Force analogies. Let's just get that out of the way. But stealth in business is a bad thing and not a desired result. Stealth in business means that nobody sees your stuff. Your message isn't clear. No one knows what you do. And there's no positioning to prove to people that you're the one that they should work with. And you're the one that's most qualified to take them down the path of sales. Business stealth affects a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners. They don't know how to break out. They don't know how to get their message in front of thousands of people. Thank goodness you know Rob Garcia, the Warrior Strategist. My entire life has been dedicated to helping businesses break out, get visible, and to lead sales through the use of visibility in their networks. So today I'm going to be offering you some of my greatest tips, showing you guys how to get more people seeing what you're doing, how to break out of business stealth, and how to be likable and to incur trust so that people will buy from you. Classical's getting a little stand by for once. Back this down a little bit. Okay. All right. Now, right out the gate, business stealth occurs when your social media is irregular, when it's underwhelming, when you talk at people and not to them, and when you partake in what Doug Means so brilliantly called seagull marketing. Seagull marketing is when somebody, you ever been at a network event and somebody just throws a business card at you, quick introduction, and then just takes off? You ever seen that, Teresa? Seagull marketing is awful. Because essentially the analogy is that a seagull flies over, shits on you, and then just leaves, right? Same thing, that same concept. Connection is what makes sales, period, dot. So no matter what your business is, whether you're Ginger and David at Really Designs, thanks for the shirt, or Ted Fox at Scooter's Garage, Brian Big Country Conwell, whoever, when people feel connected to you, they will buy from you. And connection comes from a lot of ways, but people have to trust you before they will give you their hard-earned money, especially these days. So how do we get seen by a lot of people? The first thing is to leverage the correct social media for your business model. And I always tell people, if you are selling goods, you want photo-based social media. Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok, those are better for goods-based businesses. If you're selling services, you want conversational-based social media, Facebook, LinkedIn. Regardless of which business model you have, Twitter is always the megaphone. It's always the amplifier. It's always the traffic driver. So whether you're selling goods or services, you can always snag a little piece of your post, grab the photo, pop it onto Twitter with a couple of hashtags, boom, easy, 30 seconds. And that's just like a way of driving some random traffic that you might not see. And it's very quick, very easy. Social media leverage and strategy is about omnipresence. It's about understanding how to make good looking and fun content. It's about being in the right place, and it's about developing the network. If you're on Facebook, you should be maxing out your friend requests, your friends lists through friend requests and people you may know. If you're under 1,000 friends in your friends list, your Facebook personal, that's a red flag. That is a very, very small audience. You got to remember that like 1% of the people on your friends list actually see your content on a regular basis because Facebook throttles it down so much. So why not make that 1% of 400, 1% of 5,000? You get my drift? Like it's just exponentially larger. So max out your friends list on Facebook as fast as you can. Cut out the clowns, cut out the complainers, cut out people with bad energy, people that go into Veterans Radio Syndicate and call you a racist, just weird shit, people that want to start fights with you. Cut out everybody that doesn't vibe with what you're trying to do. Everyone on Facebook that knows me knows that I cut out people that are complainers. I cut out people that are bad energy. I cut out people that are always whining about something, or people that are hyper fixated on politics, either side. I don't care which side of the fence. If you're posting on politics every single day, you're not going to be in my friends list. I don't care. I don't need to see that shit. That's just me. That's how I curate. But also that creates a connected audience with people that get along better, easier to deal with. I don't know. Energy is important. So anyway, going back, maximize out your Facebook, increase your LinkedIn, and understand the value of recycling. And James Hickey, who just popped on to the Facebook feed, is a perfect example of this. Understand that content created originally at James's event, I might as well give him the plug now because he's here and watching me, judging my content. I'm going to teach this tomorrow at the Marketing Mastery Summit in San Diego, 4 to 8 p.m. at 1100 Market Street. But I'm going to be teaching how to go from expert to business celebrity. But one of the slides, one of the things I'm going to be talking about is how to recycle content quickly so that you're not developing original. You don't need to develop like something different for every single platform you're on. And it's the concept of omnipresence. So guess what? You can take your Facebook post, have it created in ChatGPT for free, have it created, a photo created in Gemini for free, pop that onto Facebook, copy paste, pop it onto LinkedIn, the photo, exact same size, pop that onto LinkedIn, and then take a snippet of it, pop it on X. Boom. That entire process will take you less than 10 minutes, and now you're seen on 3 premium sites. If you're on TikTok, you can create an original TikTok with one push of a button, have it shown on Instagram, and then that automatically will turn it into, if it's a reel on Instagram, it'll automatically become a reel on Facebook because they're linked. This is the power of automation, omnipresence, and using the setups of all the social media integration in a very fast way. So one TikTok video becomes an Instagram reel, becomes a Facebook reel instantly for the time it takes to make the the TikTok video. Okay. One Facebook post created in AI with a custom graphic, under 10 minutes to create, pop it onto Facebook, and then copy paste, pop it onto LinkedIn. There you go. There's your morning content. And then you go on Facebook, you do the colored background with a lead generation question to get people talking, a discussion question, whatever. And then that's a good start to your social media day in under 20 minutes. And then guess what? You really want to get omnipresent. You do what I do. What's up, Taylor Callan? You get StreamYard, and StreamYard broadcasts to Facebook, your Facebook business pages, LinkedIn, YouTube, and there are ways to use StreamYard to broadcast to Instagram business accounts and to X if you have a paid subscription. You're verified. What the fuck that means? So this is how we create omnipresence. This is how we're seen everywhere. So like right now, I'm doing a StreamYard to Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and TikTok Live, right? So I'm going out to all these places, teaching social media stuff, being seen by Taylor Dunn, awesome comedian based out of Oklahoma, Navy vet, good dude. So omnipresence is not hard to create. Content itself is not hard to create. Now you got AI to do it for you. If you guys aren't using AI, start now. It's easy and it's free. ChatGPT is the easiest thing in the world to learn. And honestly, a lot of older people, I'll just say it, kind of shy away from it. They're scared of it. They think it's some weird thing. It's going to put Terminators all over and ruin everybody's lives and fucking steal all your dog food and all kinds of, you'd be surprised the shit I read online. But point is, if you haven't started AI, even if you're older, start today. It can do a lot of awesome things. And that's a whole different topic I'll touch on one day. But if you have trouble like creatively creating content every single day, AI is a great way to supplement your creativity and augment. I use it sometimes just to have like topic ideas to chat about. All right. Now, business stealth. I'm going to teach you guys a technique here in a minute. Let's get to our sponsor really quick. So today's content is sponsored by Way of the Cobra. If you guys do not know who Sean Kanan is, he's one of my PR clients. I literally signed him this morning. I haven't made the announcement yet. You're the first to hear. But Sean Kanan he was in Karate Kid 3. He was Mike Barnes, Karate's bad boy. He is Deacon Sharp on Bold and the Beautiful. And he's an Emmy award-winning producer with his lovely wife, Michelle. They've created a bunch of series together. Series is, God, that's hard to say. Series, plural series, we'll just say. But Sean also is an author, and he created these Way of the Cobra books. If you Google them, they're incredible books for your own personal development. They take a martial arts-based slant to the way that they present the information, and it's kind of cool because Sean uses a belt system, and the belts increase as your mastery of the techniques increase. These are life improvement and business development books that are spectacular. So there's Way of the Cobra, Welcome to the Kumite, and then Way of the Cobra Couples. So Way of the Cobra Couples talks about how Sean and Michelle created this incredible production empire in LA and all the projects they work on and the things they do, but how they grew together as a couple and use their relationship as the foundation for their businesses. It's a spectacular look at how two people come together and build empires. If you're in a loving relationship, check out Way of the Cobra Couples. This one is particularly good. Me, as a quintessential bachelor, I definitely need to pick up some tips because I eventually would like to meet my better half and start an empire with her. I'm tired of cooking for one. All right. So anyway, the books are Way of the Cobra. You can Google them. There are 3 of them. But they are spectacular for business development, life development, and just making you feel good about stuff. Sean has a lot of cool stories too. He talks about almost dying when he made Karate Kid 3. He had a medical emergency and he had to be rushed to the hospital. And they told him flat out, if you don't get back on set in a week, you're losing this role. And he had to beat out thousands of people. And the rest is history. He went back to set. He finished filming Karate Kid 3. He became Mike Barnes, one of the most hated bullies in cinema history, and which is ironic because Sean does a lot of stuff with anti-bullying. He was just in Newcastle, Pennsylvania, speaking in schools about bullying. But anyway, this is what's cool about PR. You get to talk to celebrities and learn about what they're working on. All right, let's veer back. We're going to talk about how to break out of business stealth. And this is a technique I developed in my tactical CEQ program called Teach Your Industry. When I show you this will not only show you how to have almost unlimited content, but it will position you, it will get people familiar with you, and it creates rapport and value for your audience. And I'm literally doing it right now. You hear me, Desert Rose? You hear me, SeaWorld 8? This concept for breaking out of business stealth, for getting more people seeing what you're doing, is called Teach Your Industry. I developed a giant visibility program about 7 years ago. It's called Tactical CEQ, your Celebrity Expert Quotient. But I developed 4 tenets to help people break out of business visibility. Those tenets are celebrity partnerships, strategic social media, media interviews, and teach your industry. Teach your industry means that you wake up and instead of trying to sell things, you become an educator. You become an educator of your industry. So when I work with clients, I sell them PR packages. They get magazine coverage, they get press releases, they get, media outreach. I've gotten 39 people on TV from my pitches. That's not what I talk about, though. So usually when you tune into my content there, Wonka, you'll see me talking about PR. I'm teaching the nuances of what a press release does. I'm teaching the nuances of why appearing in Entrepreneur and Forbes isn't the flex that it once was considered to be. I teach that those $97 PR featured in major media ads are all bullshit. I teach what PR scams look like. Okay. So all of this has to do with teaching, educating, and protecting my consumer. And if I create enough content on this, eventually, subconsciously, it builds trust. So if SeaWorld 8 sees this, Izanev 75 Gen X sees this, and she sees my content a couple times a week, she's like, oh, there's Rob. After a while, you guys would get comfortable reaching out to me and saying, hey, I need some PR help. I want to get on TV. I want to do better social media. Let's talk. I want to hire you. That's the value of Teach Your Industry. It's selling without selling. I never have to come on here and say, hey, you guys should hire me. I do awesome PR. It's, a couple $1,000, blah, blah, blah. I never have to do that shit. I just get out. I talk about PR. I'm very visible about it. So anyway, how do we flip this around so that this works for you? Whatever your business model is, start thinking about how you can educate around it. And if you do this consistently and your content's good and you're teaching interesting shit that people wouldn't be able to learn regularly, people are going to come to you. They're going to message you. They're going to be like, hey, I saw your training on X, Y, and Z. Let's work together. I saw that you got, Sean Kanan on TMZ and you got your client on ABC and you got your other client on NBC. Well, I want to work with you. So here's some ideas about implementing Teach Your Industry, regardless of what your industry is. Okay, this works for anything, because my clients are all over the board. I've got the 3rd highest ranked para athlete in the country, a one-legged Army sergeant who is a champion weightlifter. I've got a guy that rebuilds Pontiac engines and triples the horsepower with 3D printed parts. Thank you, George Pardos. And if you guys haven't seen Veteran Radio Syndicate yet, go to Facebook, look up Veteran Radio Syndicate, throw him a follow. Man is gold. He makes the island of Greece very proud. Is Greece an island? I just thought of it. Maybe it's not. I need to look at a globe. Now I'm going to get kicked in the head by a Greek Marine. All right. So, here's some ideas for Teach Your Industry. The first thing is always consumer protection. No matter what you do, no matter what industry you're in, there are dirtbags out there ripping people off. Teach the scams. Teach what to look out for. Consumer protection is a big deal. I'm always out there saying, hey, this is what shady PR people do. This is what to look for. This is normal business procedures when hiring a PR person. 60% down is normal. You should have a refund clause in your contract for non-performance. You should have this and this and this. Point is, consumer protection is a big deal. Think about the sharks in your industry, the people that suck, the people that are out ripping people off. I call this the Ty Lopez factor. and create content teaching people how to look out for scams, what scams look like, how to avoid them, how to avoid getting ripped off. Consumer protection is a great source of content, and you will always have something that you can teach people. And you'll look like a hero. You'll look like the one that people will turn to, the expert, if you can protect people from being scammed. So that's one way to teach your industry. Another way is unique opportunities and resources that people don't often know about. So, for example, the number one PR tip that I always give people, and Chris is chiming in. Thank you, Chris. Greece is not an island, but does have a ton of islands. All right. I learned some geography today. All right. The number one PR tip that I give people, and this falls under like insider info, is that you can go to prlog.org and get a free press release once a month. You know how much a press release costs? They're anywhere between $300 and $1,500, depending on who you use, sometimes more. I charge about $1,250 for a press release, but there's a reason it's that expensive. But yeah, so that is an example of an insider tip that helps the consumer that L4 Perfect might not know right off the top of her head. Okay. You know your industry, you know shortcuts, you know things that the average person doesn't know, whatever it may be. It could be marketing, it could be sales, it could be, something specific to the roofing industry or the car performance industry or buying a car or finance or contracts, whatever the F it is. Offering resources and offering tips that the average person does not know about is what's going to get people circling around you and wanting to be in your crew. So like I said, I offer that tip all the time. prlog.org. You can get a free press release. It's just about done for you. You can use ChatGPT to write the damn thing. And then if you want to distribute it nationwide, so first of all, you can grab that press release, send it out to your news stations if you're trying to get on TV. But you can also spend I want to say $67, maybe 47, and you can get it distributed nationwide. That is an incredible DIY tip, right? This is why people follow my shit, because I will always share the things I know that will help you if you can't afford to work with me, which is fine. I'm expensive for a reason. All right. So we're talking teacher industry, consumer protection, resources, and next, this is the most challenging to create, but also the most rewarding, is how-tos. Now, I always say to people, and this changed my life, seriously. I always say to people, give away what and sell how. And I'll tell you, out of the 10 or so years, I've been an entrepreneur for probably 20 years. I've been a self-funded one for 8, meaning I haven't had a job. Out of all that time, there are probably 3 things I've learned, I call them Robisms, that I invented that have changed the lives of many people around me. This was a big one. Give away what and sell how. Too many people give away the farm, but once in a while, you should do something I call a demonstration of power. And I do it to flex. I'm not even going to bullshit. When I do a demonstration of power, I'm going to pick a random person, usually a veteran business owner. I'm going to ask them their zip code, and then I'm going to go fucking hog wild, look up all the TV stations in their area, pitch them for a TV slot, and give out contact info for all the newspapers in their area and some of the reporters. And I do this so that people can understand what it's like having a professional PR person who can gather these things, make you a PR campaign in a matter of fucking minutes and show the value. So once in a while, do a how-to. Not often, Amy Blue Eyes, not often. Don't give away the farm. But once a month, maybe, do a post related to your industry, and really show people how good you are. Okay? How-tos can be anything. Think about your industry. If you're in finance, teach about how financing works. If you sell wallets, teach about the process of setting up this distribution line for your wallets. If you're a writer, teach about how to fucking use an apostrophe properly. I swear to God, like 60% of adults don't know how to use an apostrophe. It's terrifying. Point is, demonstration of power is a good way to flex how smart you are at whatever it is that you do. And I did have a suggestion. Frank Mantel, U.S. Marine, says you should come to IMCON in Vegas this weekend. Frank, I would love to, except I have an Air Force PT test. I know those words don't go well together. Saturday, I'll be doing my semi-annual Air Force PT test. I'm actually going running right after this broadcast. And so, yeah, I'm hung up for this weekend. IMCON does look cool. I'm sure there'll be a lot of my friends there. And I need to start going out to events more often for sure. So thanks for the reminder, Frank. Really appreciate it. Always let me know if there's events going on. I try and do the best I can. Lately, I've just been focusing on the PR game in my magazine. All right. So we're talking about teach your industry as a way of getting out of business stealth. We've talked about consumer protection. We've talked about teach your industry. We've talked about the importance of how-tos, omnipresence. Now, the next two things I suggest are a little bit more challenging, but they'll get you out to a wider audience. Press releases and interviews. Earlier, I taught you that you can get a free press release on prlog.org. You don't have to have any specialized credentials. You don't have to be a PR expert like me. But press releases, you should have someone issuing them for you regularly if you can afford it. And this is why. Searchability. I didn't even think about it from this angle for the longest time. But I was looking up, like, you know, advantages of press releases. Sometimes I'm in love with them. Sometimes I'm not. I offer them as a service. But it struck me when I was working with Ted Fox at Scooter's Garage. We did a big campaign about his Mighty Mule Pontiac 301 engine that he put 3D parts on and tripled the horsepower, which is pretty cool. It's a big story. It got 125,000 views on Reddit. And I issued a Medium article. I issued some press releases. But the real value of the press releases is Ted's searchability. So if you look up Ted Fox Mighty Mule Pontiac 301, you'll see something. I did a search for it, and he popped up in like 8 different places, up and down Google. That is why you need press releases regularly, with your business name out there, your name out there, and the press release is an angled news burst. And the more you have out there, the higher your percentage of getting interviews. Because here's what's interesting. Reporters will look you up. And if they see a lot of Google presence, they see you've been interviewed in a few places, they see your press releases, they see articles about you, they see you showing up in Reddit rooms, shit like that. They're like, oh, this person is newsworthy. Let's do a story on it. So this is where I really, really 100% latched on to press releases, and I realized now the value of what I was doing. Because it didn't always hit me like, why should I do this? Are these just going out into air? Is this a vanity project? Is this, what's the strategy behind it? And I was like, oh, searchability. I mean, a press release did get Ted an iHeartRadio interview on In Wheel Time, which was a big deal as well. And it drove a lot of traffic to his Scooter's website, Scooter's Garage Facebook business page. Ted tells me he has like record-breaking traffic now. But Google searchability is a big deal. Once you have some press releases out, some articles out, maybe some LinkedIn content, who knows? It's important to realize that you need media interviews. You need to be on podcasts. You need to be on TV. You need to be on industry-specific media platforms. And it's really not that hard to land interviews. I do this for a living. I get people a ton of interviews for whatever. Tony Brooks, I got like 9 interviews in 9 days. He was really easy though, because his story is wild. He was one of the Army Rangers in the early 2000s that went in to get Marcus Luttrell, lone survivor. So he scored a bunch of interviews. Some stories just write themselves. Some interviews just are a natural yes, which is kind of cool. It's like my job. Media interviews. And it's funny that Dallas Poor just showed up, Dallas the Voice, because I got him on TV. Dallas did this stunt, and he had 2 different media stations arrive to cover it at the same time. It was great. It was like Anchorman. But Dallas showed up for his Warriors of the Wind nonprofit in a teddy bear suit on a motorcycle with the people in his nonprofit. If you haven't donated to Warriors of the Wind, it's a great nonprofit. Look it up real quick. They visit sick kids in the hospital, and they use the power of motorcycles to help veterans of PTSD. Spectacular nonprofit. The point is, getting media regularly is a great way to creep out of business stealth. And there's a lot of angles you can use. It's not hard to get coverage. It's not hard to write a pitch. Partnering up with a nonprofit, doing a fundraiser, doing an event, all these things are ways to get visibility for whatever it is that you're doing and to get media to cover it. Media loves events. And if you're a veteran, it's even easier because they love covering veteran-owned businesses. They like supporting veterans. That is one thing the media is really good for, and I applaud them for this. They give preference to veteran-related stories. Your goal, if you want to break out, Louise Heathco, is to get on TV and to get on as many podcasts as possible. Podcasts are easy to land because there are new ones popping up every single day. And if you guys want the fastest Warrior Strategist approved trick for getting on podcasts, I'm going to tell you right now. Go on Facebook, type in the word podcast. Start making a list of everything that pops up. Every single podcaster in your network and outside of your network is going to pop up that's ever done a post about their podcast. Start making a list on a piece of paper. When your list hits 20, start applying, start messaging, start reaching out. Don't just ask for an interview. Tell them what your talking points are, where you've been featured before, if you have, and a little bit about yourself. Tiny bit. And your pitch should be this long if it's Facebook Messenger. This long. This long if it's an email. Okay? Don't give them every freaking detail about your life. Pitching is an art form. Brevity is important. Keep it as short as possible. Denise, you want to talk about what you've achieved in health. You want to talk about your 3 greatest achievements, whatever your talking points are, and then you reach out. Then repeat for LinkedIn. And you keep writing down podcasts until you have 20 and 20. You have 20 from Facebook, you have 20 from LinkedIn. Now you have 40 potential interviews. And if your pitch is good, and if you're not sure how to write a pitch, ChatGPT, boom, done. If your pitch is good, you should be able to land over 50% of your pitch interviews. So that's 20 media interviews like that. Not a lot of work. This is what I do. I create lists for clients. I write their pitches for them. I pitch to the platform owner. And then I just reach out to the client and say, hey, you have an interview today. Congratulations. So let's do a recap. And then I have to do one more broadcast. And then I have to go for a run. But I really appreciate everybody popping in, checking out my content. If you're on TikTok and you like what you see, you want to know more about PR, you want to know more about getting as many media interviews as possible, follow my profile on TikTok. I will teach you all the dark arts, everything I've learned. I try and keep the content interesting. Sometimes I'll, do stuff about Iron Man just because I'm a goofball and I like staying creative. But you'll learn a hell of a lot about PR, and it'll probably save you thousands of dollars. All right. And if you're in San Diego, take me out for coffee, and I'll teach you everything I know for free. I'm a sucker for a good cup of coffee. I like Americano, just saying. If you're in Hillcrest, message me. I'll take you out to Lebanese, and we'll talk about PR. That's how I roll. All right. So summing up how to break out of business stealth. Question from the audience. What's your favorite coffee spot? I like Lestat's. And there's one on Park Avenue. It just opened up, and it's so new. I don't even remember the name of it because they took over where Park on Hobb used to be. That one's good. Lestat's is amazing. You know, I'll slum it into a Starbucks once in a while. Better Buzz is good. Communal Coffee is excellent. They have an outdoor patio. So there's a couple, Louise. Thank you for the question, by the way. All right, so let me give a summary real quick. So the topic is getting out of business stealth. From PR expert, Dr. Rob Garcia, the Warrior Strategist, magazine owner, 255 media interviews. Here's the summary. Create content across the right social media platforms consistently. Teach your industry when you can. Do consumer protection stuff in your industry. That always makes for good content. Issue press releases, as many as you can. They're strategic in nature. Get on TV. Get on as many podcasts as possible. And last but not least, think about the quality of what you're putting out. Branding is everything, okay? Right now, there's a light in my face so that I have decent lighting. My shades are pulled up in my Hillcrest apartment so that I have side lighting. My webcam, 1080p Logitech, high def, okay? These little things matter. The more professional and the better looking your content is, the more people are going to tune in. Quality matters. And it's not that expensive to have decent quality. So for example, I have like a $30 external USB Amazon mic right here so that my sound quality is good for StreamYard. Got the Logitech Brio high def camera, and then I've got an external light right in my face for lighting. But the point is, all these little things make my output a lot more professional. I'm not in a dark room in my house. I'm not just popping out graphics on my social media that look like crap. All my stuff is branded, strategic, and they get more people, more engagement. What you put out matters. Quality matters. Take a little time and really think about how good your stuff looks, and your audience will appreciate it. All right. That's all I got for today. Thank you so much, Frank Manto and Louise and Bridget and House Signal and Chris and Dallas Poor and George. Everybody check this out today. Really appreciate it. You guys have PR questions, feel free to follow me on TikTok. If you guys want to know more about PR, you want to know more about services, you want to work with me, whatever, GarciaGlobalMedia.com. And if you want to know more about business, check out Shift Magazine at shiftlifedesign.com. You can read it online for free. This is my personal business magazine I've had for 10 years, and every issue free to read. Shiftlifedesign.com. All right. Hope you guys have an amazing day. I got some training to do. Thank you, Pete Hegseth. I'm really looking forward to all my running and push-ups. And that's about all I got. I'm Rob Garcia, the Warrior Strategist. As always, stay famous. See you next time.